Here's what you'll need for the Soldering 101 module. Keep in mind, most of this equipment is provided for in the machine shop. First, you'll need a welding machine as well as a rod holder, which is commonly referred to as the stinger. You also need welding rod, which comes from the welding machine and through the stinger. Obviously, you will need some metal to weld, as well as something to hold the metal, such as pliers, because the metal will get hot. In regards to safety, you will need a welding hood to protect your eyes and face, welding gloves to protect your hand and arms, and a welding jacket to protect your upper body and upper arms. And now, here's John Gast from UB's chapter of American Society of Civil Engineers to talk about some safety considerations.
The first thing we got to do before you do anything is you talk about safe practice, right? It's a hot process. We use this term, red ants. There's sparks, we call them red ants, so they can burn you. So the biggest thing you got to worry about is getting burned. You wear hand protection, clothing protection. We get a jacket on because your arms can get like a sunburn, a radiation burn, and then your eyes are the most important, right? Because first of all, you need the lens, the hood. It protects your eyes and it allows you to see the art. It filters out the different filtering in here so you can see what you're actually welding. But it protects your eyes, it protects your face from the sparks and the red ants and also from the radiation. The other thing is when you're welding is if you take your gloves off, you gotta be careful you don't grab something hot. It happens to all of us. I haven't had it happen in a long time, but it happened to me many times. So you got to be careful. And I know some of the students have a tendency to grab stuff and they're not sure whether it's hot enough. So that's it. So for protection, you wear when you're welding, you wear one of the welding jackets, and you got to watch out for the sparks coming down. They bounce off the floor. You wear hand protection, gloves, face mask.
And now, John will talk about the welding machine and how the wire comes from the machine through to the stinger.
Okay, now this is the speed. See how much faster it goes? Keep it right on. This is the speed, the wire speed here, and the amperage. Okay, that's good. And then the voltage is down here. And sometimes there is an ideal voltage and amperage and all that. That's a whole other. Pardon me? Yeah, they give you tables here. I had it all set up. I mean, that's something, that's a whole other lesson.
By pulling the trigger on the stinger, an electric arc is created. This arc produces the heat strong enough to produce the weld bead. By moving the arc through moving the stinger, the weld bead is created. This bead is the metal from the melting electrode flowing together with molten metal from the base metal to fill the space between the pieces being joined by welding. In order to effectively weld the two pieces of metal together, you must move the stinger in a sweeping clockwise or counterclockwise motion as seen here. This diagram, taken from hobartwelders.com, shows examples of both good and bad welds. When welding, both comfort and control are important. What this means is that you want to position your hands and body so that you as the welder are comfortable, but also so that you can control the stinger throughout the duration of the weld. Once you get the hang of it, you can move relatively quickly through the weld. However, it is important to take breaks to make sure that your weld is sufficient and clean. As John explained earlier, it's important to use pliers to move the metal as it can be incredibly hot. This video was meant to serve as a very brief introduction to just one type of welding. There are many other videos on YouTube and other resources out there available to you to become a better welder. Both John Gast and UB's ASCE provide welding workshops throughout the year. Be on the lookout for these opportunities in order to learn about welding up close and firsthand.